This video is about diffusion. Diffusion is a critically important process for cells. If you remember the definition, it's the spreading out of a material from an area of high concentration to low concentration. The clock's wrong. And we are going to do some demonstrations of diffusion. It's really important for how it gets materials in and out of a cell, and it requires no input of energy. So here are some examples of diffusion, and we'll start with mothballs. So those are solid materials in this jar, and I take off the jar, and if I stand around here for a while, all of a sudden there is a stink, and that's diffusion of a solid through a gas. We know from the kinetic molecular theory that gas particles are moving randomly in all directions, and they will carry part. Oh, that is getting ripe. We will put the lid back on that. Diffusion can also happen if you're going camping. You may encounter things called outhouses. Here we have the Newfie one-holer, or two-holer, and you can see it's got an upper bunk and a lower bunk, so a little bit different. And traditional outhouse there. Diffusion happens from outhouses. The closer you get to the outhouse, the more ripe it is, the more concentrated the smell is, and it will naturally head away from the outhouse. But since it's more concentrated near the outhouse, the smell is worst at the outhouse. We're going to show you that diffusion can also happen through liquids. So here we have some water in a large beaker, and we're going to add that purple stuff we added way back when for the KMT. And then we just sit back, and that is diffusion of a solid through a liquid. It is just naturally spreading out over time. Didn't have to add any energy. We know the particles of the liquid are free to move on their own. And if we wait long enough, that concentration or that color would spread out evenly across all the water. So diffusion, got to know its definition. You have to know it requires no input of energy, and that's one reason we like it in cells.